Golf's no different from hockey. Requires talent, self-discipline.
Golf requires goofy pants and a fat ass. You should talk to my neighbor, the accountant, probably a great golfer, huge ass.
How do you measure yourself with other golfers? By height.
It's a very, very special honor.
I'm Paula Creamer, and you're listening.
Well, we're waiting.
Hi, this is Martin Cove, a.k.a. John Kreese from Cobra Kai, and you're listening to
Quiet, Please.
Let the word go out from here across the land. Let Daddy Noonan approve.
Hiya, boys. Nice day for golf, ain't it? Quiet, please. Oh, you got secrets, eh?
Hey, this is Shooter McGavin. You're listening to the...
Hey, you guys. Hey, we're trying to have a podcast over here.
And welcome back, folks, to Quiet Please the Golf podcast, where our panel of illustrious guests, we get together on a weekly basis. We've taken a little time off. Admittingly, it's getting to the off season. Some of us are hung up our sticks, but we're back collectively, all five of us tonight. We have a number of topics to talk about. I'm Alan DePew, as always, joined by a wealth of knowledge in the golf industry. And I'm going to start from my lower left, Mr. B.E. Greetings. Hello, sir.
Good evening. Good evening.
Author, golf instructor, lots of things on his signature line. The ever-present one, don't be that guy, Andy Hydorn.
Hello, fellas.
Hello. Drove in through a rainstorm just to make it here, Boston Bob Baldessari by way of Kentucky.
I brought my bourbon gift. I'm sorry I can't share with the class.
Last on the introduction. I saved him to last because he's the prettiest, but Christian Nazim's number one in my heart.
I'm glad I'm number one in somebody's heart. So I'm glad it's you.
So boys, we took a little time off, and as we were talking about it the other day, we really do. Yeah, I want to blow our own horn, but I'm going to bloviate, as they say, for a moment about ourselves. We really do touch a lot of different components of the business. And what I really like is, and I'm going to throw this right out there for everybody, if you would like to chime in, we love to chat with guests. So keep it clean, send a question, anything. We will put it on air on our Instagram or through YouTube or Facebook. We are streaming live on all those channels. And, hey, I was on a cruise. That's why we didn't air last week. I was floating in the ocean.
You look like you got
a lot of sun.
I did get a little sun. I actually did. I also had gale force winds off the Outer Banks, which they call that the ship graveyard of ships. So that kind of was a little nerve wracking.
How many over under 20 drinks consumed for you?
Well, I had a 15 drink a day package for me.
Wow.
And then and Heather had her 15. So we had a 30 combined. And I'm proud to say we responsibly did not tap out at any time. Came close.
Wow.
Never tapped out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, good for you.
That's a vacation.
I didn't have the Woodford like you got your pack in there, BB, but all right.
What cruise line?
I was on MSC, and I'm gonna say this, and this is not a shot necessarily at MC. I've learned I'm not a cruise guy. 2 days down to Florida, they canceled Nassau because we got out of port late. So basically, I rode in a ship up and down the East Coast to eat a lot of food, drink a lot of drinks, and turn back around and do it all over again. If I have to do all over again, I'd fly down to Miami or take a train because I don't fly. And I'd visit like St. Kitts or, I don't know, all the other islands. I'd island hop Andy Hydorn.
Yeah.
You don't island hop on an airplane though, do you?
No, but you know what? Did anybody catch the little water in the background on my our background image today?
I like that.
Yes, that was an ode to my trip. So, Andy, you wanted to talk about this. I want to talk about this. The rage is the internet. It's been the topic. It's been the hot topic for now. Definitely the last 6 months. I mean, you got Mr. Internet himself, Bryson's now getting gifts from Santa at Dick's Sporting Goods. If you haven't seen that commercial, but the Internet Invitational, and then I added to it how you can blend that in with sponsors exemption. So AEH, Mr. Don't Be That Guy, what you got?
Well, I think anyone who didn't watch the Internet Invitational missed out on something amazing, compelling, interesting, a little bit crazy. And I think mostly the credit goes to Dave Portnoy again for putting the right touches on something that could very easily be boring and not interesting. But he put this thing together. And for those of you that watched it, great. For those of you that didn't, I highly recommend it. It's a shit ton of hours to watch the whole thing. Yeah. I mean, I'm guessing it's somewhere between 15 and 16 hours of total content. But it was unbelievably fascinating, competitive. Like, the format was incredible. The way they did it was they started with 48 people. They had 2 captains selected. Then they drafted 2 teams of 24. They played matches. And then the team with the most points won. The other team was going home. Then they redrafted teams, then redrafted until they got to the finals. It was phenomenal. And, at the end of the day, at the end of the event, Cody Frankie, known as Barstool Beef, ended up winning. His group ended up winning, and they won $1 million. And that was kind of a sad, bittersweet thing to see as this thing played out. But I don't know, Brendan, you watched a little of it. I was absolutely captivated by the event.
I watched the final, and I do need to say it is a lot of content, the 10 to 15 if you watch hours, if you watch everything. But I don't even think you need to watch everything. Like, I watched only the finals, but I'm compelled to go back and watch some of the other episodes because I saw clips on some of the influencers' social that seemed compelling enough to give it a look. But that final was kind of messy, and I'm not going to be a spoiler. There's a lot of stuff going on, which kind of took it to that edge of being a golf thing or like reality show type thing, which is fine because it's all centered around golf, and it was compelling. It was good to watch, and ultimately the golf played out in the end. But we've all said, throughout this year that this medium is going to be something that is not going away anytime soon. And as we saw with the guys from Good hosting a fall series event next year on the PGA Tour, it's something that finally is being embraced fully by the more traditional golf power brokers.
That being said, I've seen some of the creator classics, like that doesn't do it for me at all. Like it's not interesting. It's not compelling. What Portnoy did with this same cast of characters who are in the creator classics put it over the top. I mean, it was amazing. There was cheating going on. There was, like amateur rules, like officials. And I mean, it was unbelievable, honestly. And at the end of the day, you really found out, like, there's some, like, Brad Dahlke is an amazing player.
He's a player.
Like, an amazing player. But I tell you, the thing that surprised me the most, like, a lot of these good guys, while they put great content on the internet and have great golf swings, they can't play golf.
They're no good.
They are not good players. Now, Dahlke's a good guy. Luke Kwan's a good guy. But, like, some of those guys aren't very good.
So readily admit, Andy, I did not catch it all. I did hear something about somebody was late for a tee time, and I also heard that Frankie had to had a nip one off of a tight lie right at the end or something like that. But my first question before you answer that Is BB, as a certified rules official of the USGA, how do you feel about cheating in these events?
Did anybody see it? Did it happen?
Yeah.
Was there
with all those cameras? Everybody saw it.
Well, I wondered when this was going to start to happen, and I think Portnoy is good. They did a piece on him on CBS Sunday Morning. It was really good, actually, recently. But the indoor simulators, they've been running some of these things where you can play against each other.
Yeah.
Same, everybody I think knows about that. So it seemed like this was going to be the next generation of that. I agree with Andy. It's almost like when you're not sure if there's going to be a train wreck at some point, then it becomes really interesting TV. It's like, oh geez, who's going to make a train wreck? And then who's going to move it in the rough, and who's going to, I don't know. It's like Sunday morning at the golf club. All hell breaks loose.
And that made it interesting.
Yeah.
Like it really did. Like watching this. So Paige Spiranak, who everybody knows who Paige is, started giving one of the Barstool guys shit about, never playing in anything and you don't know what you're doing. And 10 holes later, she's out there in the rough, matting down the lie so that her guy could get a freer swing of the club, and then starts crying because someone called her on it, and she says she didn't know that was against the rules. Like, how ironic is that? She's giving Francis a bunch of shit. You never played in anything, and she's out there matting down the grass. Like, come on.
Christian, what do you think about that?
Well, I think it's all part of the world that we live in today, if I'm being honest. I think it's all part of social media. I think a lot of people are gullible of what they read online or see online, if I'm being honest. And like a lot of these, you want to call them creators or content creators, whatever they're called today, it's like, they throw shit on the internet and people believe it all day long, right? So like Paige is saying, Paige is no dummy. She knows the rules of the game. She's a big advocate of the sport. I think it was something for clout, if I'm being honest. I think that's my take on it. I think when you look at a lot of the YouTube golfers today, you can only say that less than 1% of them are actual good golfers that you can make an argument that I would like to watch. Both Brian Bros, I could watch them all day long, right? They're phenomenal golfers, obviously. I could watch Luke Kwan, but I'm not even counting Bryson in that, but like a lot of the other guys, like Andy said, they're not that great, but they post good content, and that in the world that we live in today is what gets them, likes and money and views and everything else that comes with it. Like this is not a slap whatsoever to Grant Horvat. His videos are boring as hell to watch. They're way too long, in my opinion. They're very boring to watch. He's a phenomenal golfer, but he has an audience that is going to give him money all day long, an endorsement by TaylorMade and so forth. I would rather watch a content creator like Bob Does Sports, who are funny, who get drunk, who have a good time on the golf course, and all that stuff, than watch other creators for that. But I agree with Andy too, to an extent, on the Creator Classic. I think it's dumb. I think it's stupid, to be honest with you. There's no point to it. What's the point? You're going to get 14, 15 golfers together who are going to shoot 5, 7, 8 over par. Some of them are going to shoot under par because they're actually good golfers. Great. Like, who cares? Like they do that on a daily basis. The last thing that those creators need in that tournament is money. They're making a shit ton of money right now doing what they do every single day. And the last thing they need is to put another $1 million or $2 million in their pocket.
Can I interject real quick? I think the Creator Classics are a great concept that hasn't been fully marinated and seen. If you took the best creators out there, the guys and girls that can play, and that's all you had in the Creator Classic, then it would be a good thing. Because the whole idea of it is to pull in people that aren't watching regular PGA Tour events in the first place, and to get those millions of people into more of a traditional thing, if not for just a few hours watching them play at East Lake or TPC or whatever. But I agree. Like some of these guys that get in there, and girls, have no business playing for that amount of money with the games that they have. So I'll propose that back to you, Christian and Andy, because I don't disagree with what you're saying. but I do think it's a good concept if it's just kind of thought out a little bit more.
The problem I have with that is that in the way Portnoy did it was genius, right? By splitting the teams, reshuffling, splitting the teams, reshuffling, right? So, you're playing on the same team with a guy, who it's never the other team, but you're just shuffling all the time. But if they did just a straight up tournament, the fact of the matter is Brad Dahlke's winning every time. And
he's Scotty.
Brad Dahlke is better than the Bryan brothers. Luke Kwan's a good player. Peter Finch is a good player. But like Garrett Clark and Grant Horvat and those guys, I'm sorry, they're not even in the same league as Dahlke is. Like, not even in the same league. They're not even close to being as accomplished as he is. But I think the interesting thing about these creators is that people think Garrett Clark is like a tour player. No,
not even close.
He's like a random Joe who's got a good golf swing,
Yeah, he's got a good golf swing, but I think going off of BE's point, I think if you can, the tour has an opportunity, I think right now sitting right in front of them, where they could take full advantage of what they could do with this whole social media world that we live in. I think if you take people like Brad, like George, Brian, and those type of caliber players, and maybe do like something where they could, team up like New Orleans, for example, that could be even more interesting, where you could then call it the Creator Classic, but have like a tour player team up with somebody but you got to make it to a point of like, okay, less than 4 handicap or something. Cause like, obviously nobody's going to want to watch Paige. I mean, people are going to want to watch Paige, but like not on the golf course is what you're
saying. But there's only 3 of them that have a chance
right.
to win.
So I don't know how the tour wants to handle that, obviously, but then you're going to get into what Grant did a few months ago, where he turned down the thing because he wasn't going to have his camera on the course, so like then it goes into that whole thing, and that's a whole other avenue to go down. And, then people are going to look at that and say, oh, who's this punk that's going to only care about views when it comes to a golf tournament? You just got asked to play in a PGA Tour event and you turned it down because of that.
I have a feeling they don't want to be exposed as being not as good as everyone thinks they are.
Yeah, 100% they don't. Absolutely.
But wouldn't you like to see a Berkshire playing a tour event and see what he could do?
Dude, watch the whole internet invitational.
There's only 3 players.
You're gonna watch Berkshire play. You're gonna watch Paige play. This little Chaz dude, like he's a dwarf. That dude was arguably the best player in the thing.
Oh, that guy! Oh my God,
he was unbelievable. He never missed a shot. But like like Berkshire is just nowhere near like that player.
No.
Little person.
Okay.
He's a dwarf.
There's only 3 players that I would like to see on a tour event level standpoint. 4 actually. And it's both Brian Bros, Luke, and then it's Brad. Those are the only 4 players that you can make an argument for in YouTube Golf today that would actually make it interesting to watch, potentially make a cut in the PGA Tour. Like, those are the only 4. And I don't think there's an argument for it. You can, in my opinion.
But you get guys like Steph Curry, who's not a creator, and people would want to see him play, and he's not as good as some of these other guys that are creators.
Yeah, but then you look at a guy overseas, Rick Shields.
Yeah,
the guy's a PGA Tour pro or PGA professional, excuse me, and he can't hit a bright side of a barn. He's terrible.
I watched every one of his matches. He's not good.
He's awful. He's literally so bad, and I could beat him right now.
But BE, you rolled it out there. You almost put it on the peg for us. Leads right into Steph Curry, Tony Romo,
and now Kevin Hart and LeBron James. I mean,
give me some other names that have all received that other component of in our little private text thread, sponsors exemptions. Now, this we're talking about a made for TV, obviously with the internet, but how about these tour events that are bringing in these creators or people of social personalities and what have you. And the internet blows up. It's alive with, well, what are they doing there? What's your thoughts on that, Mr. Hyde?
I agree with Andy. I'm going to butt in here. I agree with what Andy and Christian are saying. 100% agree with you. But that's what you guys or myself, depending on what mood I'm in on a particular day, that's in general what we want to see is people that are entrenched in the game, right? But that's not to say that millions of other people aren't going to want to watch a Steph Curry shoot a 72 and then an 82, or a Paige Spiranac or whoever. I think it's good for the game overall, and we'll all have our own preferences on who we want to watch in these scenarios and who we don't want to watch.
I'm not saying that I would want to only watch the good players, because I enjoyed the hell out of watching Frankie Borelli play. Francis, this Chaz guy, like there were some bad golfers that were really interesting because they're interesting people. You know?
Beef was interesting to watch.
And okay, so Beef, this killed me. He was on Dalkey's team, 360-yard par 4. He's hitting driver. Dalkey's hitting his second shot from 202. He's hitting his driver 160 yards. Like that's just, that blew my mind. Like, seriously. And it was not like a bad shot either. It was his normal like shot out there. It was crazy to see.
And with him as a PGA professional, I think that kind of lets people see that not all of us that carry those letters are golfers, you know.
You all had to pass that PAT, though.
We did. 10 times I tried, and I finally got it.
It's not easy.
Not.
I'm more so just curious where this goes from here, if I'm being honest, because social media and this content creation world that we're living in right now is not going anywhere anytime soon. And, you know, I think if the tour truly wanted to tap into it and do something outside of the Creator Classic or change the Creator Classic in some way, then, you know, that's something that they'll have to obviously figure out. That's why they get paid the millions of dollars a year to do it. So.
Agreed.
He threw that bait in the water. I got to ask the question. Bobby, how many times did you take PAT?
1.
You're a stick.
I hit 31 greens.
He's a player.
Took me
1
3.
and done.
Took me 3.
I bet you had some good bourbon after.
His dad had him practice until his knuckles bled.
I found the shortest course with the smoothest greens, and I gave myself a chance.
Well, that's how I passed in my 10th time. Shortest course.
Alan, back to your point, you tossed a little bait in the water on the.
I did. I tried. It was a little guppy out there. Yes.
Yeah.
And she's about the size of a little guppy. And I'll say it. I'm talking about Kia Trump.
Kai Trump, not Kia.
Like I said, Kai Trump. Kia's the car. Kai. Sorry, Donald. Don't send the Secret Service or worse after me.
The pronunciations.
But like to me, I just don't get the outrage of people who are not are so dead set against Kai Trump getting a sponsor's invite.
I'll give you the answer.
Every person who runs an event has every right to promote that event
1,000%.
they want.
1,000%. Now, can I give you the answer?
Trump brings a bunch of people in. If Steph Curry brings a bunch of people in, you know, I don't care who it is. Like Kai Trump instead of like the 200th player on the ladies' money list. I'm sorry, that's a no-brainer.
She's ranked like number 4,000 in the amateurs, and guess what? She has the last name Trump, and she's a scratch handicapper who lives in Florida. And I'm quoting Beth Ann Nichols on her X the other day. The rise in interest in the LPGA event this week extended past Caitlin Clark and friends on Wednesday. Thursday at the Annika saw a 60% increase on site year over year, according to the tournament organizers. The number represents a blended average of attendees, merchandise, concessions. Monday to Friday, the event reported 180% increase in media coverage.
There you go.
Mission accomplished.
You're running a business.
Right to do that.
Yeah, they're running a business. They're going to do what you need to do to run the business to get the eyeballs and end of story.
82.75, not unrespectable. I mean, I think she still finished last, didn't she?
Yeah,
I don't
probably.
Okay.
But here's the other part of that though. Like after she shot 83 the first round, like everybody's online saying, "Oh my God, she did an amazing job. She did." Give me a break. You know, she didn't play a great round of golf, but that doesn't mean that it was bad. It doesn't mean like it's about what you would expect, right? But don't be saying this is like an unbelievable accomplishment. Her second round 75, I'm good with that being an unbelievable accomplishment.
Okay. Both you boys will know this. Lake Morian, Vermont State Open, 1987, 17-year-old AD drives through the night with my polyester bright yellow pants on the first tee. Flat cold tops it as a 17-year-old to shoot 83 at the State Open. No cameras. And no last name Trump.
What year was that?
1987.
I wonder if I was in that event. I would have been playing then. Andy, you would have been playing.
You know, Rich Parker was in the event.
Oh, yeah.
Lance Tambrook blew it right past my head off of number one when I was walking off 18.
There we go. Yeah. They're right there.
My point is, she's 17 years old.
Yeah.
The event did what they wanted to do, right, Christian? Notoriety.
Notoriety, but also it's going to come with her last name for the rest of her life. Like, people are going to hate her father all day long, but then they're automatically going to hate her too, and they don't even know her. So it's
there's the other side to that. People love her because of that.
You're 100% correct. So there's always two sides to it. So it's like, I'm like, you know, at the end of the day, they have to do what's best for them as far as making money and growing their business. And if that's the person that they thought was going to grow their business, and hats off to them. At the end of the day.
Yeah, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad. It's publicity.
Exactly. 100%. You could pick anybody in the Trump family and it's going to draw publicity, no matter who you pick.
Good or bad.
At the end of the day, good or bad.
Yep. And while I'm on the LPGA event, let's give them a little more sunshine. Craig Kessler, big win. Increased broadcast enhancements. Every round broadcast live. More cameras. More shot tracing. More interviews. Problems with partnerships. Mr. Elliott, as our resident media guy, is he off to a good start in his role?
Awesome. That broke yesterday, that news, that's the LPGA tour. The more I've been writing about that, the more I've been watching, obviously, and it's really good golf. I wrote an article 2 weeks ago because I watched phenomenal golf from a winner in Japan that only hit the ball 225 yards off the tee all week.
What's wrong with that?
Missed like five fairways. And I wrote an article, drop the ego, boys, and watch the women play to learn how to play golf. It's mind-boggling how good these women are. And you look statistically at greens hit in regulation, that's a 6,500 yard course that they were playing. And she's still hitting 80% of her greens with only hitting it 220 average off the tee. So for most golfers, the large majority of golfers, statistics say that you are not the bomber off the tee that you think you are. So you should watch how golf is meant to be played.
And she's playing with girls who hit at 275.
She does. Yep.
Bobby, Mr. Resident Historian, do you remember Vicky Getz?
Oh yeah.
And her amateur championship at I believe it was Pinehurst, and I mean her trusty little, I think it was a 4-wood, and she's just running up the middle on every hole on number 2.
Yeah, she did everything she could to try to hit the ball longer when she made it on tour. You know,
really?
it did. Yeah.
Trivia question: where did she play her collegiate golf?
She was at
Duke. It was someplace in the southeast. No.
Yes.
Georgia Tech.
Close.
Wake Forest.
Georgia. It was Georgia.
Georgia.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wake Forest. That's up in Raleigh. It's not close to Georgia Tech.
It's close enough.
Not even like 4 hours. It's like 5 hours away.
It's accessible by car.
Yeah. Where was I going to say? Niagara?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Hey, can I
the golfing mecca?
Yeah, what a great school.
Hey,
it produced the MAC conference.
It produced the prettiest podcast.
You know what?
That's
It
it
also
really
produced
did.
some pretty shitty golf. I will say that too. We came in last.
You should be in the
place
Hall of Fame for
know,
them for the role you play on this podcast.
It's funny because every single year we would fly down to Florida for our conference tournament, and you could, we're all excited about it, like, oh yeah, we're gonna play well this year, great. And then like you could just write Niagara before we even landed in Florida in Disney. Just put Niagara at the bottom of the leaderboard because that's where we always sat. So yeah, we sucked, but it was a great time.
It's all about
Guys were awesome on the team. It's all about the experience, All
All about the boys.
All about the boys.
AD, before we leave that internet content creator, the whole thing, can I put in my 2 cents as always when we talk about these events, silly seed events, whatever? Put up your own money, and I'll definitely watch.
Well, Portnoy put up his money.
I want one event one time where everybody puts up their own money. Like I know the weekend guys will put up 50 cents, $5, $100, whatever it is. Get out of your comfort zone. This skins game, I want to see one time 4 guys put up their own money. Like then I will watch. That's compelling to me. You're going to play for sponsor money. You're feeling a little nervous. You might win $250,000. It's not your money. Like put up your own money.
Let them all put like let them all put like $2.5 million up. They're getting that money back from a sponsor anyway.
I agree with that, Bobby, but I will say this. The money that was thrown out in the Internet Invitational, like these are young kids who have never played for anything before. And they were playing, even though it wasn't their own money, like the stakes were like super high and the tension was crazy.
Oh,
so
yeah.
But I agree with you. Like watching a skins game where a bunch of multi-millionaires are playing for, thousands of dollars, is like, who gives a shit, right?
I'm tired of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
They did it.
If there is one thing of money putting money out there, I will put any type of dollar amount in front of Riggs, and I will go smoke him at any golf course in the country and gladly take his money because he is not for.
You know what? I'd like to see that because Riggs talks some shit.
Riggs sucks.
He would never play you though, Christian. He only plays guys who are like 6s and 7s and 8s.
Which is fine because I technically I am like I'm not a 1 still. I'm probably at least a 5 or a 4 right now, easily. But I gladly take him for his money. Are you kidding me?
That looping little chip shot move that he goes at it. Anyway, we got to go right here because and please, Andy, don't get us sued. I'm trying to find some musical interlude and I probably can't find it, but I got nothing.
Well, yeah, Andy, we're going to T1 right up for you. You know what happens when you play for money?
What happens, Bob?
The C word.
Yeah. So this is the ultimate don't be that guy. So last weekend, not this past weekend, the weekend before, I was playing in the Texas Shootout, which is a Ryder Cup event between 12 players from North Texas versus 12 players from South Texas. We're playing in the 4-ball match or the foursomes match. So alternate shot. We're on the 5th hole, and me and this guy who will go unnamed both hit our tee balls. I hit it in the fairway. He hooks it left. There's out of bounds left. So he started looking for his ball, and the 3 of us are looking near this like pile of rocks, and this other guy walks over toward the out of bounds. I happen to look back. I see him reach over the fence, pick up his yellow ball, put it in his hand, and put his hand in his pocket. So then he starts walking over to where we're looking, and he still has his hand in his pocket, one hand in his pocket, right? So a couple minutes go by, and I'm watching him like a hawk because I'm like, I can't believe he's going to drop a ball. I can't believe it, right?
Wait for a sec. Wait for it.
I moved my eyes off him for 1 second. 1 second. I got it. So he calls me over, and he's literally has me looking inside a hole covered with grass. I'm 12 inches above it, and I can't see anything. And he goes, well, it's inside on the inner lip. So I pull the grass back. I look in there, and there's his ball, right? His hand wasn't in his pocket any longer. And long story short, this guy who is, let's put it this way, he's one of the top 5 senior amateur players in the state of Texas. He plays all over the country, qualifies for USGA tournaments, dropped a damn ball in a match. Like, are you kidding me? Like, it's just mind-boggling in this game of honor and etiquette, and that this guy who's a great player literally premeditated cheating and went and dropped his ball into a hole.
He didn't know he couldn't do that.
Yeah, he didn't know.
Hey, Andy, remember what George Costanza said to Jerry Seinfeld? It's not a lie, Jerry, if you believe it. But, hey, seriously, you get that moniker about the C word with golfing. That's a bad thing. Like, you never ever would you get rid of that.
Nope.
And you know what? My partner, who was our captain, he couldn't sleep right that night, and the next morning he woke up. He goes, I couldn't sleep. This really bothering me. Like, how many times has he done this and nudged somebody out of a spot in the U.S. Senior Am or something like that? And so he decided he was going to say something to him at the end, and it was so funny. So after the singles matches, he goes up to him, and he basically tells him what we saw him do, and the guy was like, this is terrible. You guys are sitting here, basically calling me a cheater, and now everybody here in this thing thinks I'm a cheater. And my partner goes, no, not everybody. We just kept it between, our group, but you can be rest assured that Andy and I think you're a cheater.
That response right there tells me that he's done this before in the past many times. He got very self-conscious there and very defensive with that answer. And I think that he was 1,000%. Like, I'm sorry to be rude. You got to be a scumbag to cheat in the game of golf. You have to. I'm sorry.
The real question I have for you is, did we tap into our resource, Yip Strickler, at this point?
Oh, yeah.
You know what? Yip Strickler was a topic of conversation at the pairings dinner. The guy's so damn famous anymore. Like, people just—
He was with us first. Always will come back
randomly talking about Yip Strickler at a players' dinner. It was pretty amazing.
He's just a phone call away.
Oh, I let him know. He was being talked about. But yeah, cheating, really, especially at that level.
I got one.
I never played with the guy ever again, to be honest with you. That's how much, like, I did that. I called people out for it, and I don't have time. I don't want to play with you anymore. Like, it is what it is. Especially somebody who's, from what you've told us, as good of a golfer, and I'm sure as likable as a person that he is off the course or even on the course too. At the end of the day, you guys did the right thing. He's the one that has to live with it and lose sleep over it potentially or whatever. But that's how I look at that whole situation. Like, I don't know why you would feel the need to do that. Take your stroke, move on with your life, and go from there.
Hindsight being 2020, I wish I would have handled it right then and there, but I didn't.
Yeah.
I kind of chickened out in the moment. I was a bit in shock that it was going on, but I wish I would have handled it right then and there.
Well, let's roll into this one real quick. I have it in. I'll jump in here. Henny Zoo. Is that how you pronounce it?
Henri?
Yes. Former professional golfer and presenter Henny Zuel has joined Live Golf Podcast 2026. Huh?
Oh, she did all the stuff with Tiger, all the videos and stuff with Tiger. Right?
Yeah, she's in Live. Okay, that's our Live report.
Wait, I got another one. I heard Victor Perez.
Don't do that to me. I had that as my final thought.
Oh, shoot. Sorry.
Who?
Go ahead. Go ahead now.
Victor Perez.
Just pretend like you didn't say it.
And it was just an accident. I was looking at players to watch out for this week at the RSM, and I was like, oh, Victor Perez would be good. And he's gone to Live.
Who the frick is that guy?
He's a Spanish Frenchman.
Right.
I want to say the other word, but I can't say that word on air. So
okay, we'll take that off. All right. Oh shit. Let's just go right there. Oh. Well, the youngster gets composed. BE, you got anything?
Two things. Athlon Sports got approved to do a print annual again, which they did several years ago. They do it for a lot of the other sports they do. But I am doing what started out as 3 articles, now is 7 articles in that. And I got the cover story, Tiger at 50. So I'm so excited about that. And speaking of Tiger, he was seen walking around at Mission Inn for Charlie's high school state tournament, and Tiger looked pretty healthy. So here comes Brendan again, rooting for Tiger Woods in 2026. Christian?
Tiger 6.0.
Yeah. I'll go off of that then. Tiger's missing the cut at every major championship this year. Tiger is done for. Love him to death. But my final thought is more on a serious note when it comes to just life in general. Like, life's way too short. People have to, one, stop being rude to people. One, and two, it's not to bring the mood down, but I lost my grandmother recently, and when I say that life is way too short, it puts it in perspective for you as like, what could you have done differently? What could you have changed, or whatever the case might be? It's like, at the end of the day, is you have to just always be true to your authentic self, and just always know that you are loved and you are appreciated by your family and your friends, and that each and every single day that you are on this earth is meaningful to other people. So yeah, that's my final thought.
Mr. Baldessari.
Well, I didn't plan on going this way, but I will pick up a little bit on what Christian just said. It's very true, and you see what happens in the NFL with Marshawn Keeneland with the Cowboys. I've been aware and studying, this is my radar on mental health, and you try and come up with a different term for that. You work on your body, you work on your game. There's a way to work on your mental health and well-being. So we are starting an initiative here in the Kentucky PGA about looking out for each other and mental health and on, which I'd love to get into that at a deeper time at another time. But you're right, Christian. I'm going to try to take that to the national PGA. There's within the PGA market, Brennan and I live the life. Alan did it for a while. There's other jobs that are hard. Nobody's shooting at us. I get that, but it can be a difficult, family stressful career with what we have to deal with. So, but I did want to make a couple of instructional type of comments, which I like to do, which aren't so technical. One is, as the winter season approaches, go play golf and use one club. You really should play one club more often. Great for creativity, great for course management, great for just everything in the world. Please go out on the course and play one club. The other is your set makeup. Start thinking ahead for next year. I don't think a lot of people shouldn't even use a 3-wood anymore. I see them trying to hit it off the turf, off the fairway, right, Brendan? You're not going to hit a good 3-wood. You don't have enough club head speed. You're not hitting it in the middle. You're better off having a 4-wood. You're better off having no fairway woods. I know that sounds kind of crazy. Look at your loft on the driver. Just the whole set makeup is, you don't have to be so traditional. It doesn't have to be 3 woods, 8 irons. It can be all irons. It can be anything in the world, whatever suits you. And he's got a certain swing. Maybe he's got all irons in the bag. Who the heck cares? Brendan could have all woods. I've seen that. It's at each extreme. So look at your set makeup as you get into the winter. We've got some time to experiment, and definitely go play golf with one club.
Mr. Hydorn.
Very cool, Robert. I love that. So, we talked a little bit about cheating this evening, both in the Texas Shootout as well as the Internet Invitational. One of the things we didn't mention was this guy Mo, or Molosi, who's one of the good guys, was basically using his slope on his rangefinder, which was against the rules. And at one point, somebody, called him out. He went and grabbed it from the brace of the roof of the cart, switched it back off, and then put it on the front seat of his cart, and then was confronted about it and said he never touched it. It was right there. It was right there on video, on the camera. He touched it. And the overarching point here is, where have we come to in society where, you have video evidence of doing something like that, and you're going to sit there and lie and swear on your mother's life? We saw in the football game the other night, Jamar Chase and Jalen Ramsey were going at it. Jamar Chase spit on Jalen Ramsey and denied it. And it was completely clear that he hawked a big
loogie
right at Jalen Ramsey, and he has the balls to go on camera and say he didn't do it. Like, where are we? Like, is that really what we've come to? That you can just deny anything? I mean, it's kind of disgusting, and it's pretty damn disappointing that people can't own up to doing something, especially when you have video evidence of it.
Hey, Andy, speaking of half of New England Patriots fans everywhere, thank you, Jamar.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to close with 2 things. One, Bobby, they're not shooting at us yet, but there is folklore from back in the early 90s. Superintendent showed up in one of the New York City clubs and saw a guy running down the street with his arms tied and butt naked, trying to get away from the mob. So they may have been not shooting at us, but
don't believe it.
Legendary story out of New York City. I'm going to add one more thing. This is a public service announcement for golfers out there. That is, Google has tied themselves in with, I believe it's golf now, to do tee time bookings. So if, in my case, for example, if you type in Eagle Ridge and you may be in, I don't know, Philadelphia, it's entirely.
If you're looking to lease an apartment?
You may, you could get a nice 1-bedroom for $5,000, or you could get the Eagle Ridge in Fort Myers. You could get the Eagle Ridge in North Carolina. It's even possible you get the Eagle Ridge in Sacramento. So just be aware that they are using paid advertising. This is a serious thing, because I've turned away probably 3 people that claimed that they had tee times at our golf course that actually did not. So it's more of a PSA for a close of a show. I just thought we'd be an informational group tonight. Boys, always good to see your smiling faces. I'm glad to be back off the water. Until next week.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
You only have one opportunity to sell your golf property. Shouldn't you partner with an expert that offers you 30-plus years of golf industry experience, combined with the reach of a global leader in real estate? Colliers International Golf Brokerage and Advisory Services understands your unique business needs. Whether it is brokerage, management, and consulting, be reassured that the market leader in the business of golf is providing you the real answers and practical solutions you deserve. Contact Golf Talk Live co-host and Collier's Golf Advisory Services member Alan Depew today at 717-554-8519. That's 717-554-8519.